Hi, this is Matt with State of Flux, here to talk to you about Candyman. This film, directed by Nia DaCosta and co-scripted by Jordan Peele, who is also the producer of the film, is sort of a rebootquel, or a requel. It's half reboot, half sequel. It's like a stealth sequel to the original Candyman from 1992. That film was a pretty forward-thinking movie that kind of tackled a lot of really interesting things with its racial politics, addressing gentrification and the meaning behind the ghettoization of the forced ghettoization of black youth in urban sprawls, and how that is utilized to kind of create a boogeyman. And this film kind of takes it a step farther. Clive Barker was the creator of the original and delivered an excellent film, one of my probably top 10 favorite horror films of the 90s, easily. It'd probably be in the top 5 in all honesty. This is a story that probably always should have been authored by a black voice. And with this film you very much get that. You have an artist who's sort of uncovering this myth of the Candyman, and he's using this story to kind of funnel his artistic vision, and it's really quite clever with how it presents that. If I were to have a complaint about this film is where the first one was pretty subtle, at least at times, in its allegory of the urban boogeyman. This film kind of throws subtlety out the window, but I think being really on the nose is a powerful stance to take, especially given that this film was supposed to come out in June of last year, which was a very turbulent time dealing with the racial politics in America, specifically speaking towards the use of the police force against black youth, and that this film really firmly makes its stand with how it feels about the police presence, and the constant refrain of the film being "say his name" is really it really worked for me dramatically. The connective tissue that this film has to the first film, and a little bit with the sequel, is really strong, and was something that I was really impressed by. Visually, this film is so good. It is excellently photographed and has a nice atmosphere. And the horror elements of the film play insanely well. If I were to have one complaint about Candyman 2021 or 2020, it is that the slasher elements of the film seem completely misguided, and the sort of antithesis of what the messaging of the film is trying to lay out. There's 3 separate scenes in the film that go full slasher, and well, all of them are photographed excellently. Especially there's a bathroom scene with girls in a college that is photographed exceptionally well using mirrors and stuff like that. Those scenes feel like they were tacked on due to studio interference or something, because the film doesn't need them. Anytime the movie strays away from its horror setting to its slasher setting, it just comes to like a dead stop, and I just can't help but feel like the allegory that the movie is trying to play out is getting stripped from us. That said, this is still insanely good. I'm giving this 3.5 stars. It's one of my favorite movies of 2021 so far. If you don't go with the messaging of the film, or you don't like allegories that are really heavy-handed or on the nose, a la Avatar, you're probably not going to respond well to this movie, but give it a shot, especially if you like the original one. This is an excellent continuation, and one that I did not expect or see coming. as I said, the ties into the original film are pretty clever, and they use some stock oral footage, footage, I guess, some stock audio footage and stuff like that from the first movie with Virginia Madsen's character always talking into the little voice recorder. They unearth that voice recorder and it becomes a character for a small part of the film, and I think that works really well. I also like the look of the Candyman in this, and the makeup and stuff like that. There's some body horror elements in this that had me absolutely wigging. As I say, when the movie's being a horror movie or a body horror movie, the movie is exceptional. I have zero complaints. When it goes into its slasher narrative, it feels more Candyman 2 and less Candyman, and that's where it kind of lost me. And like, even though, as I say, it's done well, it's just, it kind of seems at odds with itself. But 3.5 stars from me. I cannot wait to have this one at home so I can watch Candyman and Candyman, like, do one narrative story all the way through and see how that plays out. Also, last thing I want to mention, I really like the visual storytelling that they used with, like, the little puppets and stuff, the paper puppets. I thought that worked really, really well and was an interesting visual. But anyway, see Candyman. Let me know what you think in the comments below. What did you think of Candyman? Did you think it holds up? Some people are kind of down on its moral messaging and stuff like that, which is absolutely not a surprise given our present culture. But I was here for it, and I am, like, this, for my money, is one of Jordan Peele's stronger screenplays. I think it's a stronger screenplay than Us, even though I might have liked Us a tiny bit more, because that had a stage of consistency. This one's blending genres that don't want to blend for a little bit. But I think the screenplay that he has written here is really, really good, and Nia DaCosta is excellent filmmaker. I can't wait to see what she brings to the Captain Marvel sequel. So bring it on. Candyman, excellent movie. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you thought of it in the comments below.